The best books that you can read are the previous chapters of your life. But because you never sit in silence long enough to be able to look at yourself and inside of who you really are as a person, you're avoiding it completely. And you're going through life disconnected from yourself because you're not actually living true to yourself. And this was exactly how I've spent most of my life. The moment that I walked into that school, the moment that I walked past them school gates and I walked into the playground and I saw other people with certain clothes on, certain trainers, certain haircuts, they were taller than me, I shrunk. I didn't become who I was at home, the live wire, the laugh, the joke, the comedian of the family that didn't care about anything. I just became someone I needed to in order to be able to fit in. I just wanted to be cool. I just wanted to be liked by every single person, and I still ended up bullied. And that is when I started to go through the journey of the false identity I gave to the world. The protective armor that I put on a daily basis. The lies that I told, the stories that I told, all to just be cool and to be someone that fit in. To make sure that every single day I tried to be someone worth speaking about, just worthy of fitting in. But all I'd done was make things worse for myself because I just abandoned who I truly was. But then I took this on throughout the rest of my life. I went to secondary school. I tried to fit in, just became someone I wasn't. I went on to college, tried to be someone I wasn't, to fit in, didn't work out. And it wasn't until I realized that I'm achieving all of these amazing milestones in my life and I still felt empty. And it's because I was just being someone else. There's no other way to describe it other than I was just lying to myself, I was lying to people, and I was just trying to feel accepted. But we don't realize that this is the moment, that moment from a small child, that you set yourself up for a lifetime of pain, a lifetime of bad relationships falling apart, a lifetime of finances never really coming together, a lifetime of chasing external solutions to solve an internal problem which doesn't make sense. All of the drink, all of the stuff that comes with it, chasing the money, chasing the women, the cars, the houses, everything is to try and feel a certain way. And we do it to have a version of us that the world appreciates, and the world gives you status because you are now something. But you're just enough how you are. And it wasn't until I sat down for days, weeks, months, years, and started to rebuild that relationship with myself, to bring that authenticity back. Authenticity is the highest level of frequency, but if we're lying to ourselves on a daily basis and we are putting on a show for the world so the world loves us, we are completely wasting our time. Yes, there's going to be stages in life where you have to sort of not be who you are to find out who you are and go on this hero's journey where life events happen that mold you, of course. But there's going to have to be a time where you come home. Your soul is going to be ignited when you start to reclaim them parts of you. Carl Jung talks about bringing the shadow back in, facing the shadow, whatever he talks about, right? But that is just the forgotten parts of you. You haven't had the business breakthrough yet because it isn't the authentic version of you showing up. You haven't had the financial breakthrough yet because it isn't the authentic version of you the world is seeing. And this is the most amazing thing. I sit here with I was the biggest lie. I became the lad of the lads. I've slept with loads of women. I've made loads of money. I've had the cars. I've had the houses. I've lived in Ibiza for 6 years. All of the life that you see online now, I lived that at a young age. I was a lost boy running around the world doing whatever I wanted, thinking that justified who I was as a human being. And I was empty the whole time. Yeah, there's some rascal memories. There's some absolute rascal memories. But all I want you to understand is please, please, please just go back to who you are as a person. Like, we have the ability to be happy by just being ourselves. And I can sit here and sit opposite here of someone that was a lad, like the parties, the raves. I played for England colleges in rugby. Like, everything I've ever set out to do, I have done. And I have never felt at peace. I've never felt happy. I've never felt excited. I've never felt grounded. I've never just felt who I really am. Even when I was living that life, it was so much pressure to keep up. Whereas now I can just wake up and just be who I am. This is why when I see content, people talking about women, money, status, I'm just like, no, please just stop. Real happiness is building a relationship with yourself. What parts of you have you forgotten about that you want to bring back into play? You'll never build real friendships on a fake version of you. You'll never build real love on a fake version of you. You'll never build a real, authentic, loving, cared about business on a non-real version of you. This is why, honestly, stop running away from your problems and start to face them, because that you are running away from the storm, and the storm is forever going to be chasing you. Like, please listen to what I'm saying. I'm 33 years of age. I have lived the life that everybody projects onto social media is a life worth living. But every single person is running away from them problems. You need to stand and face who you are. You need to stand and work out who you are as a human being. The best books to read are the previous chapters of your life. Go back down memory lane and work out the parts of you that you have forgotten. Why did your relationships fall apart? What patterns have you got at the moment that you're taking into your current relationship? Do you have so much self-doubt, fear, worry and anxiety when it comes to building your business? Do you not feel you're worthy of making £1 million a month and you're quite happy to just get past on whatever it is that you're currently making? You have to become someone that you once was. That little boy at the school gates that didn't have a care in the world, that had the biggest imagination, that was just in the present moment until he walked into that playground. You was born with certain personality traits that God wanted you to use. This is why it says in the Bible, no one that doesn't, if you behave like little children, you will enter the kingdom of heaven. Life is about bringing that childish version of you back to the world. Please reclaim them parts of you. Keep that lad version of you. Have the wisdom, have the knowledge. Bring that energetic version of you back. But just bring that child back. Because you was born into the world with that brain and that identity of who you was as a kid. So you must reclaim that in order to be able to go to that next level. And most importantly, you want to be happy when you're at that next level. The best way to be happy is to actually have them beautiful parts of you reignited. And I call this the integration phase when I work with my clients. We start to integrate the forgotten parts and the part of them that they are now, and we dissolve the armor, the fake mask that they have been carrying. Because it's exhausting, it's tiring, and you feel so unfulfilled no matter what. I made 100 grand. I had £100,000 sat there about 10 years ago, and I felt empty. And I thought that was going to give me a feeling. I bought a supercar where the doors go up different to everyone else, still empty. Rolexes, designer clothes, posting, clout, status, empty. And it wasn't until I just sat down with a coach and done the deep internal work that I needed to, did I then learn what was going on. And then I started to implement and give it to my clients, and they started to open up a whole new world. Then I started diving down the psychology rabbit hole of why is this happening? Why are they having miracles in the space of 30 days? Like, what is going on? And that's when I started to realize we always feel like we've got one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. And it's because we're trying to be someone we're not, or we're trying to achieve something that isn't aligned to us. The moment that you can free yourself back up and just be who you are in this world, and not try to people please, and not try to do something in order to get something in return, but just because it is aligned to your heart, is the moment that your whole life will start to change. I promise you that. Because otherwise, in 5 years' time, you're still going to feel this way. And I've spent my whole life pretty much feeling this way. All right? So this is your sign now. Get back into that version of you that was just a kid. Who was you as a kid? What did you enjoy doing? What personality did you have? What contagious energy did you have? I became too serious. I was never serious. Never, ever serious. I didn't care. Anything I touched turned to gold. But we seem to abandon parts of us in order to fit in and become this character. And we have to really start to just be authentic. Because the moment you are authentic, it's the highest level of frequency. That state of consciousness is where you want to be at. And then everything that is meant for you will fall into alignment with the real version of you. This is The Melia Life. I'm Brad Parker. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, big love. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get it, baby.